Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to some more hardcore Superflat Minecraft. I've just now passed the 700-day marker, 200 days more than the last time I made a video like this. Despite loving the sound of my own voice, I'll try and interject as little as possible to just leave you with the raw experience. And without further ado, let's get right into it, after a word from our sponsor. Nah, I'm just kidding, I'm not that famous. I only really did two main projects during these past 200 days, the rest was just more some scattered terraforming. So let's start with the first of these, the village. And so, the first thing I had to do was head to the nether and gather some nether stuff. I don't remember exactly what I was trying to achieve here. I think I was gathering quartz to be able to fix my cobblestone farm. With the aforementioned nether stuff gathered, I could now set off to repair my cobblestone grinder, which was one of the many steps I had to take to build this village. Now, I know this sequence is very long, but I need you to understand the pain I went through trying to fix this thing. It's like trying to fix a computer. It's horrible. And with that, the cobblestone farm was fixed and it would never ever break again. And, more importantly, I was now free to start building the village, or at least that's what I thought. Yeah, long story short, I got distracted by a roaming band of pillagers and ended up completing my first raid. Yeah, cut the epic music. I ran away like a coward because night fell. On the bright side, I came back once morning rose and picked off all the pillagers one by one with my bow, which I should have done in the first place. Anyway, I was now, and for real this time, able to start building this village. And it took me about all of 5 minutes to get distracted again and start building this goofy ass tree that still stands in the village to this day. I guess it turned out decent after all. After that was done, I started building the market stalls and the other market adjacent things, but I guess I never recorded that in the original video, and I don't have the footage on my laptop anymore, so it's in the void now. Now, the footage you're about to see next is probably the thing I regret building the most in this world out of anything I've built. It's so ugly, I wish I'd never built it, and I promise one day I will burn it all down and start over. I think it was supposed to be some kind of Western style inn, tavern, hotel, whatever you want to call it, but it got too big, too bulky, and it has to go at some point. Now, I'm gonna be nice, I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. In exchange, you and I are gonna make a contract. We aren't gonna talk about this thing until it's just gone. Sound good? Perfect, let's do it. For some reason, most of the next footage is replay mod footage, but let's just roll with it. Once I had finished you-know-what, I went off to build most of the next houses. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest to you, I never actually finished the village in the 2 videos, or 3 videos actually, I made about the village. That's why the replay footage you're seeing right now has slightly different stuff in the background, because instead of doing it on day like 550, I did it on day 695. On the bright side, you get a sneak peek as to what's to come in the rest of this video. With that done and out of the way, I could start moving the villagers into the village. Now, I may enjoy pain, but I'm not suicidal either, so I went about this in a somewhat smart way by just moving 2 villagers into the village and forcing them to breed there. Now, if you're a nerd, you may think to yourself that this has to be some kind of rights violation, right? But here's the funny thing, they aren't human, therefore they don't have rights. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now, while I was waiting for the baby factory to start outputting its resources, I started to make the village a little homier for them, because you know I'm not a complete criminal. Upon my return to the factory, the workers started complaining that they didn't have enough food to meet the bottom line. So, of course, as the magnanimous boss that I am, I provided them with some. And before long, the resources in question were joyously scampering about. After laying down some cold, hard concrete everywhere, I was finally ready to start trading with these lovely fellas. And after releasing them from their prison and trading with them just to unlock the trade that I wanted them to have, I set about to do just that. And boy, let me tell you, it was worth it. I'd like you to cast your mind back to when I showed you this screenshot. One of the 2 projects I mentioned was this castle in the bottom left corner of the screenshot. Now, if you've been paying attention until now, you'll know that that's not what the background of the world looked like when I was building the village. It had more something along the lines of this. It's an old manor that I built with intent of turning it into a villager trader, but I never got to it, and then my world corrupted pretty hard, and all the roof disappeared. And that's when I decided to turn it into the castle that you can see in the screenshot. So I went ahead and started by performing a little bit of what I like to call deconstruction. So, as you can see, it didn't burn everything. It got most of it, but I'll have to break all the panes by hand or by TNT. And as you can see, I also had some accidents with the TNT. I kept all of the stone, well, most of it anyway, because I do like the shape that this has. I think I'll just add a tower over here, and then we can make this into a nice castle instead of the ugly manor that we had there earlier. I think past me explained what I was trying to do pretty well, so all that's left is to build it. And because this is so self-explanatory, I think it calls for a montage. Now, I know I skipped over a few things in that montage, but it's just me placing stone for hours on end. It's not exactly exciting, okay? On top of that, I wanted to keep the video under 10 minutes, which is why I haven't included any of that aforementioned terraforming. I'm all for suggestions though, so if you want to see me terraform, I'll put a video together. I'll do what you want me to do. Just leave it and anything else you want to say in the comments down below, as usual. And with that, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I love you guys.